At the United Nations last July, there was uncharacteristically undiplomatic language directed at South Africa.
I think he's out of touch with the trends inside his own country.
That was then US Ambassador Zalmay Khalilzad talking about then South African President Thabo Mbeki, after South Africa had helped block a sanctions resolution against Zimbabwe's rulers. And early in its two-year term, South Africa voted against a resolution demanding an end to human rights abuses in Burma, much to the dismay of the human rights community. Steve Crawshaw of Human Rights Watch.
South Africa, which in many respects is something which embodied so much hope in so many different ways, and interestingly at home still has a pretty good track record in terms of democratic behaviour, and yet when it looks outwards it refuses to address these things or to wish the Security Council, the international community, to address them.
South Africa says its positions have been misrepresented. Outgoing ambassador to the United Nations, Dumisani Khumalo, maintains that dissenting votes on Zimbabwe and Burma were simply votes against considering these issues in the UN Security Council. He says they should not be interpreted as blocking a human rights agenda.
We didn't want human rights to be used as a tool. If I don't like you, I trot out human rights violations that you may have. But when it's Guantanamo Bay, they keep quiet. And when it's Gaza, they keep quiet.
He says the US and others willfully mischaracterized South Africa's policies.
We didn't do things the way that the British and the Americans wanted us to do them. And and if you don't do it like the big ones, the French, the Americans, and the British, the way they want to do them, then you are a cheeky African. Well, I'm glad to be a cheeky African.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Responding to his comments, Britain's UN ambassador, Sir John Sawyers, said in a statement that Ambassador Khumalo is an outstanding public servant and a personal friend, but also described him as a bit of a maverick. While South Africa's Security Council term is over, Ambassador Khumalo says he hopes his country will continue to play an increasingly important role in global politics. Nathan King, VOA News, New York.